Best ever listeners, how you doing? Welcome to the best ever AI how-to show. So much talk about AI and what it could do. This conversation is about how to do things with AI so that you can have some practical use cases that you can then go apply for your commercial real estate business. That's going to be really useful for you. With us today, we got Ryan Stieg. How you doing, Ryan?
Good.
Well,
Thanks,
I'm glad to hear it. Ryan is the owner of Finovate Agency. You can go to his website, Finovate agency.com. The focus of Finovate is to help small businesses integrate AI, focusing on practical use cases like marketing, creating content, communication with potential investors, organizing support or organizational support. And he also helps use AI to streamline your real estate investing workflows like market analysis or your investor relations team. And he's got some really interesting things to share with us on how to do how to create a sales coach for your IR team, and also some due diligence tools that you can use with AI. So with that, Ryan, first, if you could just give us a high level overview of your background, and then let's get right into it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Joe. I guess kind of a short story of my background. In 2021, I left commercial insurance, and some friends and I, when I started investing in the syndication space, started Left Field Investors out of Columbus, Ohio. Jim Pfeiffer might be a name that you know or have met before. We started that and ran that for several years. And in 2024, last year, we merged with Bigger Pockets to form Passive Pockets. So that's where Left Field Investors lives now, and we are the passive syndication investing arm of Bigger Pockets. Also, during that time with Left Field Investors, we formed a fund of funds called InvestWise Collective, which still runs right now, and we have a couple debt funds that we've run through, and our most recent first co-GP experience with a multifamily outside of Louisville, Kentucky. And then through that, I started a new business called Finovate, which is focused on helping businesses learn about and separate the noise in this busy AI space and find practical wins. I think a lot of times business owners just don't know where to start. And as I was investigating it, I just saw a need for small businesses to figure out how to start using it, find practical wins, and learn this disruptive technology. Appreciate the opportunity to share some of that today.
Well, I love getting practical wins because I'm all about building momentum with small steps, and every small step leads to bigger and bigger things, and eventually you get to where you want to go. What would be the best approach to start for sharing some practical knowledge on how to use some AI tools that can help us?
Yeah, I think in the commercial real estate space or the investor space, there were a couple of things that I thought we'd talk through today. Unfortunately, we're talking about technology. We are getting to punt a little bit on the show with some audio challenges, but I thought I'd share real quick just a demo walkthrough of what an investor relations onboarding agent can do. Obviously, this is simulated data, but we can create a tool for any syndication operator's business with the knowledge base that they have and the deal structure that they have, basically their intellectual property, and help them onboard and train investor relations teams. So that'll be the first one. And then the second one, I think that there's a lot of use for in the space, and we'll go through a simulated, unfortunately not the voice interactive, but we'll go through a simulated property manager. So a voice agent in the property manager space can help answer prospective tenant calls, answer questions about available properties, schedule showings, and triage maintenance requests. Low, medium, high urgency, schedule that with the maintenance team or defer them to the emergency line. So those are a couple of the, like you said, practical use cases in the space. And then we'll go into some due diligence tools that the listeners can use to practice on their own to build something that works for them for due diligence.
Love it.
And we'll try to get through all that here in a flash.
So if you're hiring an IR person, or if you simply want to train your IR team, your existing IR team, the first part will be very beneficial for you. On the maintenance side, property management side, if you are self-managing, then, or you have a property management company, then that will be helpful for you. And then due diligence, if you're doing due diligence on properties, which is everybody who is listening, then those tools will be helpful for you.
Yeah. All right. So I ran through a simulation of this yesterday. So we're just going to go through the demo model without the voice interaction. But what I created was a simulated property, Ironwood Capital Partners, not a real deal, but just simulated. So we're basically building this tool to as the background knowledge for this voice agent. Okay.
But just so I'm tracking, where did you put this information into?
Great. And please ask those clarifying questions too if I'm skipping over some of it. So this was just built as a demo in ChatGPT. So I'm trying to use ChatGPT because it's kind of the most familiar with everybody. Mm-hmm. If you're building an actual voice agent, the software behind it is going to be different, but I wanted to demonstrate the use case here. So this was all 100% built in ChatGPT as kind of the demo model or an MVP type product, a minimum viable product. And then there are several different softwares. You've probably talked to other people on this show about like VAPI and 11 Labs that will actually create the voice agent. So there's another step to building this, but this is kind of how the functionality works.
So this is when you say this is how the functionality works. Will you elaborate as far as like what is this accomplishing on your path to getting a robot to go back and forth with your IR team?
Yes. So this is basically just for the demonstration for the show. Mm-hmm. This is to say, okay, this is how it could function in reality. And then what you would do is say, okay, what's the best software? For this type of build, you'd have to work with someone, more than likely, you'd have to work with someone who can build this tool for you. But this is to demonstrate the use case in this instance. So this will be an investor training tool as well as a sales coach. And we're just going to kind of scroll through the high points here. So we've got our demo, our demo syndication in the background. And then we're going to we want to build in investor personas. So we've got your engineer, your retiree, your fire enthusiast, your doctor, your lawyer. You want your investor relations team to be able to have different conversations with the different personas that they're going to run across. So we built that in for the demo. We want them to understand and learn compliance and education. We want them to be able to walk through the exercises, persona call simulations, onboarding tutorials, objection handling, compliance quizzes. We want this training tool to be able to work with your investor relations team for all of that. So what I did is I walked through a voice interaction. Okay. So we'll skip the actual conversation. So this is an interactive call that you're having with the voice feature within ChatGPT, which is right here. These 4 little bars down here puts it in voice mode so that you can talk back and forth with. That's the feature that isn't working today for the presentation. But when you go through this call, so I went through an interactive call and then I turned it into a sales coach. So call summary. Okay, what went well? Clear deal summary. We addressed the risk concerns, professional tone. Here's areas for improvement. We missed building rapport. We're too passive in contact capture. We didn't emphasize cash flow. So this particular investor persona was a fire enthusiast.
Yeah, I was going to say that must have been a fire person.
Yep. So we didn't emphasize cash flow. We were unclear about the exit strategy. Objection handling was soft. Okay. So now we're turning it into what are the techniques for future calls. So use the language of the investor, right? Monthly income, cash on cash returns. Share different deal teasers, and with a hook. Okay, we're capping this raise in the next 10 days. Want me to put you on the priority list for updates. So we're just working through the structure for the trainees. So this was just a demo. All of it was fake simulated data. But it just demonstrates how you can build this voice agent to go through reps for an investor rep who's going to be representing your company. But before they go to live leads, use the technology that's out there to go through these reps, go through objections, go through the things before they are on the phone with a live investor.
Can you go back to the top? Can you scroll up to the top? My question is, where did you get this information to set the stage for it? Great
question. So we'll go through kind of a little bit of the structure of prompts, but in here, this is just the simple-ish prompt that I gave it. We're going to create a high efficiency coaching tool that can be used as a sales training onboarding for real estate syndication operators, bringing on new investor relations teams. We want this coach to provide custom-based business knowledge to refine and educate. So I won't read through the whole thing, but this is the prompt that I gave it. And I said, I want to test this out on simulated data in voice mode. So in the background, ChatGPT created the simulated syndication, and then we turned it into the sales coach based on the transcript in the call. So
got it.
Again, this is all simulated in a faster fashion than an actual build would be, but it's to demonstrate what the technology can do for a company.
And where did you get the 5 types of investors?
Just here in the prompt.
Was that in the prompt?
It might have been. Okay, so just talking with and deals that they will be talking to potential investors with to practice different investor personas to help.
Okay, so it came up with these different investor personas based on the prompt?
Yeah, right in here. So yeah, the investor personas was the prompt. Now, in reality, you would go through this and fine tune it to say, okay, well, we run into these guys and these are the questions. You're going to train the tool to be specific to your company. So this was all simulated data. We can jump to the property manager.
Yeah, let's jump to that's helpful. So for just to close it out for this part, for someone who hires or has an IR team, simply putting this prompt or similar prompt into ChatGPT and then using the voice, which is in the bottom right corner. I've used it, and I'm sure others have too, to actually simulate a phone call, and then you can analyze the phone call based off of the responses. That's just a great training tool. You can set it up in a very short period of time, probably 10 minutes at most, right? If you put the deal information in.
And there would be more or additional steps if you wanted to have your knowledge. You'd have to upload some of that data. But yeah, if you just wanted the simulation tool and to say, hey, just go to town with these 5 investor deals on a simulated deal, you can do it in just a couple minutes.
Yeah. And that's it. Then you can just have the team continually train and get better in real time, and then perhaps send you their progress, or you could share the account and see their progress as it happens.
Yep. You got it.
Great. Thank you for sharing that.
You bet. The next one again was a voice demonstration, but we'll go through kind of the way that it would work. So this one is also a use case in property management. Phone calls come in for prospective tenants. You want to book showings. Phone calls come in for maintenance triage. And so all of that comes in at all hours. And you know that prospective tenants are going to keep shopping if you don't answer right away. And maintenance requests don't go away. So a voice agent, now this one would take a more custom build because you're going to want your specific data and connected to your calendar for showings, connected to your email for maintenance requests for your team. So there's more structure behind the build here, but conceptually we'll go through what this would look like. So similar prompt here. I'm a top-notch trainee simulating expert for onboarding employees. So this is just asking it to build a simulated voice agent that is knowledgeable in real estate law, and we're also asking it to triage maintenance requests for low, medium, or urgent and emergency situations. So that's kind of for a simulated 200-unit apartment. So those are some of the key points in the prompt here.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got ChatGPT, again, is where we're building this demo. It's building a voice agent profile for the context behind how this voice agent is operating. Here's some example scripts. And then here's the module for the maintenance request triage. So what type of categories might they be? Script for emergencies, non-emergencies, compliance and legal background, edge cases. So this, again, based on the prompt, is everything that ChatGPT put out for what this voice agent could do. So apartment FAQs, soft pre-qual, but compliant, maintenance triage, emergency escalation, scheduling, and tenant profile capture. So that's what this agent is supposed to do. So again, we won't go through the transcript, but this is the transcript as I was interacting with the voice agent.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see at the end of the first call, the goal here was, so
one thing I did see is you asked, is this AI? And it says it is, which I like.
Yes.
Like you got to have that transparency.
I'm really glad you asked that question. Let's see if I can, I asked it if it's AI because I really find that people are in two camps, right? There's people that love the technology and people that really don't like it. Mm-hmm. So I think kind of the area that we're at right now in reality is being totally transparent and open about the fact that it's AI.
Yeah.
Some people will hang up, others will continue to go with it. But in essence, what this voice agent said is, yes, I'm an AI voice assistant for Ironwood Apartments, mm-hmm. and I'm here to help you when the live team isn't able to help you in real time. I want to help you with this, and this, but yes, I'm a voice AI agent. So you don't want to hide it. The technology is still new enough that you can tell most of the time when it's AI. So you don't want to hide that. But I'm really glad you asked that question because you want that built in for the skeptics. You're either on board or you're not. And if you're not, here's why this agent is here to help you with this. At the end of the call, we asked about pets, we asked about amenities, we asked about rent prices, and then it said, hey, can I book you a time at 10 a.m. on Monday? Absolutely. I can schedule that for you at 10 a.m. Great. Can you tell me who I'll be meeting with? Sure. You'll be meeting with our leasing agent, Sarah. She'll show you around and answer any questions. And then here's AI. Yep. Is this AI? It is. I'm a voice agent here to help you with any questions that you have. Is there anything else that you need to let me know? And then I asked, why would a property manager hire AI instead of a real person? Well, voice AI can help quickly answer questions quickly, 24/7, and a lot of routine inquiries, which can free up the property manager and leasing agents to focus on more personalized service and in-person tours. It's about making things more efficient. That was the answer that the voice agent gave me.
Very good answer.
Yeah.
And I love the soft touch of well at the beginning, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, avoid.
Yeah, good point. Good point. So the next interaction was a triage here for maintenance requests. Seems like the hot water's going out. Okay, I feel for that. Do you know what time they'll be here? Usually between 1 and 3. Can you have them text me when they're on their way so that if I'm available, I can get there? Absolutely, we can do that. We'll make a note. So it's going back and forth in a conversational manner with the tenant so that you can schedule that out. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, we didn't get to do that by true voice interaction, but I think the concept of what the voice AI agent can do is still there. So,
and similar to the first example, you would need some sort of software program or some sort of AI program that's not ChatGPT, that's specific to creating AI agents.
Yeah, great question. There's several different softwares out there, and depending on the complexity of what you need it to do, but there are several different softwares out there that connect to a phone number as like an overflow line or the 24/7 line. They know your FAQs, they know your available properties, they have connections to your calendars and emails to be able to tie it to get all together like a real live voice agent. So.
And what's one that you would recommend or that you just say, hey, check this out at least?
Yeah, Vappy and
Vappy.
11 Labs are two voice agent softwares. I build them through a software that I use called High Level. I think a lot of people are familiar with Go High Level. So I build them through that software. But depending on the complexity, you may need different softwares for the back-end knowledge. But most of those builds can be done in the software that I use, Go High Level. I use other softwares too, depending on the complexity of the build. So,
okay.
All right. Okay. So next we'll jump into
due diligence tools.
Due diligence tools. So there are several out there, but there are several that you can buy, and there are several that you can build for yourself. For greater control behind the scenes, you can build it on your own and custom build this knowledge. So because some of these take some time, I went through and built a couple of these that we can just look through. No real data, but at least conceptually, again, we can look through how this works. So one that I recommend for people is Notebook LM. And this is a Google product. And again, we don't want to put real data in here because we wanted to make sure that this wasn't exposing anybody or putting anything on that wasn't supposed to be as a demo. But what I did in this case is just, again, conceptually, what you would do is you can add sources. So Notebook LM allows you to add docs from your Google Drive, Google Slides, a website, YouTube, pasted text. You can upload all of these things, and you can see down here the source limits that it has. So,
okay,
in a due diligence syndication, or in due diligence on a syndication, you could put the pitch deck, the subscription docs, the operating, all of the data that you have. You can upload it, and then you have the ability to ask questions. So, in this, I took a YouTube that you were the guest on last year for 100 lessons learned. So again, this isn't due diligence, but to see conceptually how the tool works. So this will give you a transcript of the show, and you have the ability here to create an audio overview, a video overview, reports, a mind map. So you can really kind of build, if you're an audio learner, you can have it recap it in audio. If you're a video learner, you can have it recap for you in all of those different mediums.
A question for you. Right now, my team is working on creating deal-specific projects or chat threads. That way, if an investor calls and he or she asks about a specific deal, all the stuff is uploaded on this thread and they have it at their fingertips. Debt terms, when we bought it, how many units, what's the sub-market, what's the market, nuances about operations, all that stuff. We're using ChatGPT for that. Because then we want to, once it's all inputted, we want to go in and just, ask our questions and then in real time. Is this better for that? Because I see all these sources and obviously when we train it, we upload a bunch of sources. So help me understand the difference between this and that and use cases.
That's a great question. And I think kind of like other than the best ever, there is no best tool for everything. Just like a restaurant, there's a ton of different restaurants. It kind of depends on your taste and your flavor and what you need out of it.
Sure.
So I would say the best tool is the one that gets you the results that you're looking for. AI is moving so fast that I think you can slow your progress and efficiency down by jumping to too many different tools, trying to optimize all the time. Kind of like maybe the analogy I'll give is high interest rate savings account hopping, like 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and you're losing the optimization.
Right.
But to answer your question, I do think that ChatGPT is great for something that you can build a custom knowledge base around. So you've probably built a custom knowledge base and you can share that with your team. So the sharing ability of a custom GPT is really good in ChatGPT. Again, there are other tools where you can integrate the knowledge on that deal for text, for voice, or for your website. So you can have it interact. That same knowledge base can interact through voice, through text, or through your website. But if it's internal, I think ChatGPT or other similar tools, that's great.
But why use Notebook LM for due diligence work if you could create a custom GPT for due diligence?
It's just a different tool.
But why use a different tool? Why not, like what's the point of doing this versus just staying within ChatGPT?
If you've built something in ChatGPT that works for you, stick with it. But maybe test other things. So use that as your baseline, but test other things to see if it works better or not. So I'm a visual learner. I'm an audio learner. If it's 200 pages of text, that's where I lose my efficiency in being able to go through it and really read and understand it. So I'll show you a couple things. So mind map is really cool here. Mm-hmm. So again, this is just looking at a podcast, not a deal. So we'll keep in mind the context here. Sure. And it'll generate that. I should have started that a little bit ago. Here's a mind map based on this podcast that you recorded. Mm-hmm. So lessons learned and insights from Joe Fairless. Okay. I want to know a little bit more.
Basically, a table of contents for the interview.
Right. And here's what the mind map does. So I want to know more about his multifamily outlook for 24 to 26. Okay. All right. So undersupply coming, investment strategy, current deal. Okay. We won't go into the current deal. Now, what does he mean about supply? So here are the topics that you discussed. And okay, 2026. Oh, that sounds like a great time to be an investor. Okay, so now it'll take you specifically to what you talked about in that point in the podcast. So it becomes an interactive tool with the database that you've uploaded. So if it's
got some bells and whistles that ChatGPT doesn't have with this mind map stuff.
It does. So then what you might be able to do is, and you can do this in any tool, I would suggest, is just say,
please give me more questions to ask Joe about this topic.
So this would be, if you're doing due diligence, oh, hey, I found a red flag. Give me more questions to ask the operator about this specific topic.
Mm-hmm.
So you're creating an interactive tool. Now, any due diligence tool is not the be-all, end-all. You are not going to take what comes out of Notebook LM or ChatGPT and make an investment decision based on that. You aren't and shouldn't. Mm-hmm. But this gives you such an assistive technology to be able to understand what you're looking at and to understand the deal that you're investing in, the questions to ask, understand your risk profile, all of those things that are just really difficult to do if you sit down with a cup of coffee and 2 hours to read through all the docs. It's just way more efficient. So that's one. Another tool that and any other questions on Notebook LM?
No. Is it free? I'm sure there's a free and paid version, like everything.
There's a free and paid version. I believe this version is free. I'm kind of in the like $20 a month for a lot of the different technologies, but I believe this one is free. And again, I would suggest people to check out the audio overview and video overview. Those take a while to generate, so I won't go through that just yet. Another really cool tool is called Manus, and it is basically like an agent or an intern, right? So Manus, it's Manus.im.
Right, M-A-N-U-S? M-A-N-U-S?
Yep, Manus.im. So this tool, I basically asked it to create a 5-agent real estate syndication due diligence tool. And what you can do with this is you can create your custom GPTs in ChatGPT from this, or you can analyze docs within it. So one thing that ChatGPT and other...
Can we pause real quick? So you asked it to create a 5-agent what?
So I asked it to create, let's go all the way back up to the top here. So it records I did it via voice yesterday. So this is what it understood my prompt to be.
Highly efficient. I want you to build a highly efficient, intelligent, seasoned investor due diligence tool. I'll start by simulating real estate syndication for a hypothetical deal. Then I'll simulate fake data, run through the opinion of a real estate syndication attorney for red flags, any missing references. I will analyze the underwriting for scrutiny, as well as from the market and operator. Okay. So you're basically telling it to be the filter of catching things that need to be caught during due diligence.
Yes. So what it came out with is, so it created the first agent, a legal red flags analysis agent.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use this as a one-time deal, or you can hit copy up here and create your own custom GPT that has this specific role. So the second one that it created is a legal compliance checking agent. I didn't necessarily ask for that, but that's what the prompt came out.
Mm-hmm.
So it created another custom agent. The next one down is an underwriting and financial analysis.
And you can use this as you just said. I just want to make sure I'm tracking. You can copy that and put it into ChatGPT for a custom GPT.
Yes. So let me open up. I put one in. I put one in there yesterday for. Well, we're going to go to my bank. It's all right. So I took that third one, the financial analysis tool, in there yesterday. My screen is going a little slow because we're in sharing mode. But one cool tool here. So I already built the custom GPT. We can go through that process if you'd like to again.
Mm-hmm.
But in a general chat, a little cool trick here is you can call out tool your custom GPTs. So I just built these demos, and I'll say,
simulate this tool's capabilities. Yeah, you just put an @ and then you were able to tag the tool you created.
Yeah, so instead of going to hunt, instead of going to hunt for it, you can just @ and call it out. So this is the tool that I pulled directly from Manus. So while it's running, I took this prompt. So this is the prompt for a custom GPT.
So and Manus, the benefit or the work product that Manus created for you was creating these agents, these custom agents that were highly specialized.
Right. You can run all of this in Manus. You can run and not go back to ChatGPT, but because everybody's more familiar with ChatGPT, I wanted to use it. So my prompt asked for it to give me a prompt that I can use for ChatGPT. So,
and couldn't you create these agents in ChatGPT?
You can. I feel like personally, you've asked kind of what the differences are between ChatGPT and Notebook LM. I feel like, at least in the current version, that Manus has the capabilities to do deep research and a more structured output.
Okay.
Is why I used. So one thing too is using AI to leverage AI. So I've used Manus to say, hey, do this for me. And then because that's its strength. And then I'm going to put it back in ChatGPT where I can create a series of agents that can help me do due diligence.
How do you find a website like Manus and identify its strength compared to ChatGPT?
I would say it's just, for me, it's just being in the space, right? I get way too many email notifications about new tools. Now that I've searched AI in Google, I get all the ads that I ever see are AI related. Mm-hmm. So just because I'm kind of in the space, I'm seeing and hearing a lot of these things. And it's still super noisy for me too, to separate practical from noise. Mm-hmm. So here's what this particular tool. So the tool that I pulled out specifically is just underwriting and financial analysis. So that tool built as a custom GPT in ChatGPT, I asked it just to simulate a 200-unit apartment complex. So here are the assumptions that it made: income and expenses, exit assumptions, underwriting analysis. So here, if you put a real deal in here, here's a simulation of the output. So executive summary, projected IRR, equity multiple, key risks, and a recommendation. Return analysis, so IRR, equity multiple, cash on cash, NPV, risk analysis, so debt service coverage ratio, break-even analysis, sensitivity analysis, market analysis, critical issues identified, recommendation. So obviously it's telling you a recommendation of proceed. You don't take that as truth, but that's kind of the high level that you would say. And then I recommend everybody to just use that next prompt and say,
give me more clarification. Give me a more clarifying question to ask the operator about top 5 risks.
So just give me more questions to ask the operator about the top 5 risks. So you're just leveraging the tool to give you more due diligence.
Mm-hmm. This has been helpful. Very helpful, Ryan. You covered a lot.
Too busy.
Pardon me?
I hope it wasn't too busy and fast, but
you covered a lot, and there's depending on where we are in our journey, we can pick and choose different things to apply based off of what you shared from training your investor relations team to your maintenance and property, customer service, to then the due diligence tool, and then sharing a couple websites that perhaps, and AI tools that perhaps listeners haven't heard of or used, Notebook LM and Manus.ai. Thank you for being on the show. How can the best ever listeners learn more about what you're doing?
I'm on LinkedIn. I don't post as much as I should on LinkedIn, but I'm on LinkedIn. That's the best way to connect, or at my website is finovateagency.com. So I'd be happy to have these conversations. I enjoy them. So
I do too. And thank you for educating us. I hope you have the best ever day, and talk to you again soon.